What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today, man, is the day, man, I'm going to finally preview and predict Super Bowl 54, yo. You have the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers, yo. But before I get into this video, man, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on Instagram or send me a friend request on Facebook, I'm gonna have my Instagram and my Facebook information down in the description box. Come give me a follow on the gram. Come send me a request on the book. Come holler at your boy, yo. Well, like I said, we here, man. We finally here, yo. First looking at the San Francisco 49ers, man, obviously coming in, it was the number one seed in the NFC in the playoffs, divisional round, man. They just absolutely took apart the Minnesota Vikings 27-10. The defense was dominant, man. Tevin Coleman ran the ball very effectively. And then in the NFC Championship game, man, in similar fashion, they dominated another NFC North opponent as they dominated the Green Bay Packers. The final score was 37-20, which the final score don't even indicate how much of a mismatch this game was. Once again, the defense was absolutely dominant, and they ran the football completely down the Green Bay Packers' throat. This time it was with Raheem Mostert, who set a San Francisco 49ers postseason single game rushing record, yo. And that's a big accomplishment knowing the rich history, of the San Francisco 49ers, and their 5 Super Bowl rings. And here they are, man. Like I said, coming into this game, man. Offensively, Jimmy Garoppolo. He's had a solid season, man. At times but most of the year he's been up and down, man. You think about games like, for example, when he went to New Orleans, play the Saints in the Superdome, when he basically won a shootout against Drew Brees down there in that dome, man, which is something, most people don't accomplish. And then he had other games, man, against the Seahawks at home when he was a little up and down, man. They running backs are amazing. Tevin Coleman did suffer a shoulder injury, in the NFC Championship game against Green Bay. He's been limited in practice, so we're gonna see if he's able to go. But also they have Raheem Mostert and they have Matt Breida. These are 3 running backs that run a 4-4, man. Like, these guys are fast. They have a very, very physical offensive line. And they tight end, man. George Kittle, man, to me, who is the best all-around tight end in the NFL, man. That guy is amazing. He could, go run routes down the field, run little short intermediate routes. He's good after the catch, as you seen in the Saints game, how he just, broke tackles and carried people with him for like 15, 20 yards. And, but probably the most appreciated aspect of his game is that he's a tremendous blocker. Like, part of, the San Francisco 49ers, success to their run game is that George Kittle is such a great blocker, as long as to go along with the offensive lineman. Their wide receiving core, man. They made a trade in season, man, for veteran Emmanuel Sanders, a guy who have obviously had Super Bowl experience. However, did come in, coming off of an Achilles injury last season, but he's been a a breath of fresh air for them, man. He's been amazing ever since he arrived there, yo. Being a veteran, not only being a superb route runner, but just being a veteran presence, man, for let's face it, a very young wide receiving core, man, with other guys like rookie Deebo Samuel, who's had a great rookie season, man. To me, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Anquan Bolden, man, about how physical he is, and his yards after the catch. Kendrick Bourne, in the slot. Some really young but very productive wide receivers. And obviously, man, their defense. Like, led by rookie Nick Bosa, man, who has just been amazing this season. DeForest Buckner, a healthy D Ford, Eric Armstead, man, these guys could absolutely get after the quarterback, man. Big time defense, man. Linebackers, man. Shout out to the big homie LSU Tiger, Quan Alexander, Greenlaw. Those guys are out there flying around making plays. And in the secondary, man, the old vet, man, old Richard Sherman, a little longer in the tooth now, but nevertheless, one of the best corners in the league this season, man. Richard Sherman has been amazing, man. They got Mosley out there playing on the opposite corner, taking over for Witherspoon, who down the stretch struggled a little bit. And Tart, they safety Tart, he's a really good safety, man. And Robert Sala, man, it's unfortunate for him. He didn't get a head coaching job. But, this guy been an amazing defensive coordinator. And obviously their head coach, Kyle Shanahan, who, is a great schemer. Like I see he uses more emotion on offense, use more eye candy before the snap, by far more than any other team in the NFL, man. So they're tough, and it's part of the reason they're here today. They in the Super Bowl, man. And when you look at the AFC champs, man, the Kansas City Chiefs, man, obviously they led by who I call the Steph Curry of the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. I compare Patrick Mahomes throwing a football to, Steph Curry shooting a three. It's beautiful to watch, man. He's probably, the most gifted quarterback we've ever seen, man. When you just combine arm strength, accuracy, mobility. Before that, you could have made the argument that it was Aaron Rodgers. But this guy, man, is just it's just the total package, man. And then you look at as great, as great as Patrick Mahomes is, he has a plethora, a plethora of weapons, man. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill, man. Mikael Hardman, Sammy Watkins. Like, we talk about how fast all of the 49ers running backs are. These Kansas City Chiefs receivers are extremely fast, man. I want to say Hill and Hardman both run like a 4.3, and Sammy Watkins still got a little burst to him as well, along with a guy like DeMarcus Robinson, man. And they tight end, who I feel like George Kittle is the best all around tight end in the NFL. Travis Kelce is the most athletic tight end in the NFL, yo. Just his athleticism, running routes down the seams, catching the ball, his yak. Sometimes they use him in like a wildcat formation. The guy is big time. The guy is special, man. Travis Kelce is definitely, in that top tier, man. Over 1,000 yards receiving like Kittle. He's amazing, yo. Running back, Damian Williams, man. They don't really line up and pound it down your throat like that. But Damian Williams is fast also, man. And he could really be a problem coming out of the backfield catching the football. And defensively, man, I know a lot of people think about their defense, early in the season and last season, how bad it was. But these guys have steady improved all season long, man. On the D line, they led by Chris Jones, man, a guy who, is going to be important in a game like this, man. That interior presence, that could go up and stuff the run. Frank Clark, man, a guy that they traded for coming into the season, and he's been amazing, man, rushing the quarterback and stuff like that. And in the secondary, man, they led by the big homie, another former LSU Tiger, man, Tyrann Mathieu, aka the Honey Badger, who's played at a Pro Bowl level all season for them, yo. And Steve Spagnuolo, man, who, like I said, coming in this season, man, early on, the defense struggled, a lot like it did last season. But towards the end of the year, they really, really picked it up, man. And he has experience in these Super Bowls, man. Obviously, going up against the Patriots, in the Super Bowl and stuff like that. And Andy Reid, man, former Eagle coach, man, Andy Reid, man. Obviously, the big story is I think he has the most career wins without winning a Super Bowl, or at least one of the most wins, something like that. Obviously, he's well overdue for one, man. He's been a great coach. He was great with the Eagles. Unfortunately for him, he just fell short. So we're gonna see, yo. Not looking at the matchups, man. When the San Francisco 49ers have the ball against the Kansas City Chiefs, the 49ers offensive line against the Chiefs front, this is a very intriguing matchup. Can the Kansas City Chiefs defense hold tight against the 49ers run game? They did a tremendous job against Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans. Because the Titans came in, Derrick Henry came in as the hottest thing smoking. Like, as he ran roughshod through the New England Patriots and roughshod, through the Baltimore Ravens. And they pretty much held him in check, man, after he got off to kind of a fast start. So I think, I think Kansas City, San Francisco gonna have some success, but I think Kansas City, could hang in there with them a little bit also, man. So I think that matchup might be a wash. As each team gonna have their moments, really controlling the game. And when you look at the 49ers passing attack against the Chiefs pass defense, the key is Tyron Honey Badger Matthew, man. Can he match up? What they'll use him to match up against George Kittle. Can a guy like Brashard Breeland, keep Emmanuel Sanders in check? You would think the 49ers would have some success if Jimmy G has time to throw. Frank Clark is coming around that edge, man. Chris Jones is coming right up the middle, man. So once again, I think this is a matchup that the 49ers going to make some plays, but I think the Kansas City Chiefs defensively, also are going to play a little better than people might imagine, man. But the key is George Kittle, man. If George Kittle could constantly beat man coverage, I think the 49ers will have a really big day offensively. But they got some good receivers, man. So we're gonna see. When you look at the other side of the ball, obviously, which is the side of the ball that everybody gonna be paying attention to. First off, man, the Kansas City Chiefs rushing attack against the 49ers rush defense. The Chiefs don't really run the ball. That's the one thing to me that gives the 49ers a little edge, is that the Chiefs don't really come out and try to run the ball down your throat, unlike the Minnesota Vikings with Dalvin Cook, unlike the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Jones. They're going to line up, they're going to spread you out and try to throw the ball around the field. If they could have success getting to Mahomes, man, but if Mahomes has time to throw the football, I don't know if these corners can keep up with these wide receivers, man, and these safeties keeping up with Travis Kelce. Those guys' personnel on offense, man, is just through the roof, yo. The Chiefs, they don't mind dropping back and throwing the ball 50 times a game, man. And when you look, and like I said, man, the offensive line against the 49ers front. The 49ers front, to me, are going to have success against pretty much nearly any offensive line, in the NFL. But the thing with the Chiefs is the O-line, I think, is slightly better than the Packers offensive line and against the Vikings offensive line. And, they're a little more one-dimensional, which you would think would favor the 49ers because they could just line up and get after Mahomes. But I think the Kansas City Chiefs are comfortable. And Andy Reid, everybody know the history of Andy Reid, especially us Eagles fans. Andy Reid don't like running the football. He don't like running the football, man, especially in this game. I don't think the Chiefs are going to run the ball much, man. I think they're going to drop back and try to put resistance, against that 49er secondary. All right, which leads to my prediction, man. Obviously, this is an amazing matchup, especially when the Chiefs have the ball, that high-powered offense against that unmovable defense of the 49ers. Obviously, I think the 49ers defense is going to do solid. I think they're going to do a solid job containing the Kansas City Chiefs' weapons. Obviously, they're going to score, but they're not going to score as much as you would think they're going to as much as they normally score on people. And the 49ers going to have a little success offensively, but I think the key to this game, man, is that I think the Kansas City Chiefs defensively will do a decent job going up against the 49ers rush attack. I just looked at the way that they shut down Henry, especially after that first quarter. And I think they're gonna hold up against the 49ers running attack and force Jimmy G to go out there and make plays throwing the ball down the field, which creates opportunities for the Honey Badger. Man, I may sound biased. I'm really not being biased. I may sound that way. I think Andy Reid finally gets it done, man. I think it's almost like if not now, then when. I think Andy Reid finally gets his Super Bowl ring, man. I think the Kansas City Chiefs will beat the San Francisco 49ers and win the Super Bowl. I'm gonna go with a score of 27-21, yo. I just think that the Chiefs gonna play decent. I think they're gonna make enough plays on offense. And I think defensively that they're gonna play decent, take advantage, probably get a turnover, force Jimmy G into a turnover or two. And I think the Chiefs get it done, man. I got Kansas City Chiefs 27, San Francisco 49ers 21. The Kansas City Chiefs win their first Super Bowl in 50 years. Andy Reid gets his first Super Bowl to basically solidify him as a Hall of Fame coach, yo. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go on, hit the like button for your boy and give me a subscribe, man. I'm gonna have Philadelphia Eagles and NFL content throughout the year. Also, this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Pacific, I'm gonna do a live Q&A. Y'all can come on there, ask me anything, tell me anything. I'll answer your questions, respond to your comments, and give you a shout out on the live, yo. Y'all should join me. It'll be some good stuff. Until then, man, y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.